A new soccer complex possibly coming to the Grove. Ahead, the plans in store for the new facility.
They think we're playing here. We're not. We really don't want you here. I'll be honest with you. Nobody wants you here.
Wow, well, a bold message for spring breakers in Florida. Ahead, we're going to tell you the warning to travelers from government officials. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Michelle on the Money. Today, we are looking at the big stories impacting your wallet in the bi-state, from business to consumer news. We're going to start with an update on the state of our economy. For the first time in 4 months, we can finally say that inflation has slowed down. The Federal Reserve says inflation is at 2.8%, but with the new 25% tariff on all steel and aluminum imports, plus retaliatory tariffs from Canada and the EU, prices are still expected to rise.
It's not just the imported items that are susceptible to price increases. Domestic producers, if they're facing less price competition from foreign competitors, they're likely to boost their prices too.
So we know that the Fed will make a decision on maintaining, raising, or lowering interest rates next week. Stay tuned. St. Louis University raking in the big bucks. Earlier this week, SLU Medicine received a generous donation of $10 million from an anonymous patient. So here's a breakdown of where that money will be allocated. The funds will go to scholarships for medical students, mental health research, and towards building a future state-of-the-art health education center. We also want to bring you more information on a new initiative that is coming to SLU this summer. So as Fontbonne University prepares to shut down its operations because of financial and enrollment issues, we know that the Center for Bosnian Studies from Fontbonne will now be relocating to SLU. That is according to our partners at the Business Journal. The new center will be located inside of SLU's Pius Memorial Library. Earlier this week, a local nonprofit community radio station filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. This again is according to our partners at the Business Journal. KDHX filed for bankruptcy on Monday amid financial woes. So this move came after a group of volunteers filed a lawsuit against the station with a goal to remove its board. Now, since then, the radio station has been pre-recorded content, or has been playing pre-recorded content. And right now, Edward Jones is also planning to downsize right here in St. Louis. We asked them if that means layoffs are coming, and a company spokesperson said, quote, "As we make changes to our structure, the size of our home office will be reduced." So Edward Jones currently employs 5,400 workers between the Des Peres and Westport offices. The company also has offices in Tempe, Arizona, and Ontario, Canada. Well, soon you're going to have one less pharmacy to choose from, and that's because Walgreens is also set to close one of its stores in South St. Louis. And according to the Business Journal, the store at McCausland and Manchester Avenues will permanently close on April 21st. Those who use this store's pharmacy, this is important here, will have their prescriptions automatically transferred to the Clayton store. And we should mention this is now the second store in the city to close within a month. The North Kings Highway at Natural Bridge Road store will close again at the end of March. And more now on a credit card crisis plaguing the country as many Americans continue to drown in credit card debt. There's a new push in Congress to cap credit card interest rates at 10%. Laura Painter from our sister station in Sacramento spoke with an expert on how this cap could be life-changing.
This would set families free.
Americans are drowning in credit card debt, averaging more than $1 trillion total, according to the Federal Reserve Bank of New York.
Credit card debt is the highest that it's ever been in the United States.
Financial coach Maureen Paley says high interest rates are making tackling that debt even harder. As I've reported in prior dollars and cents coverage, some credit card companies are charging more than 35%.
There are plenty of consumer advocates saying that these interest rates are too high.
That's why there's a new bipartisan push in Congress led by Democrat Senator Bernie Sanders of Vermont and Republican Senator Josh Hawley of Missouri.
The difference between a 29.99% APR and a 10% APR is huge. Thousands and thousands of dollars. Years of being indebted can be wiped away. This would be a huge gain for consumers.
Paley says, keep in mind, different credit cards work in different ways. Some have a fixed annual percentage rate, meaning an interest rate that doesn't change over the life of the loan, while others have a variable annual percentage rate, which means the rate can change over time. Paley says when the Federal Reserve raised rates, that also raised the interest rate for people with variable APR credit cards.
For some of us who may have gone into that credit card agreement several years ago when rates were low, when the Federal Reserve raised them, it was like sticker shock when you got your bill.
Paley also says inflation plays a role in how people use their credit cards.
In an inflationary environment, the $100 I use at the grocery store, when I go to the grocery store, all of a sudden I can't get all the items I used to get with that $100. So folks have been relying on credit cards, to make up for that shortfall.
As a result, Paley says people's credit card balances are growing and debt is lingering. Do you have any advice for viewers to help them manage their credit card debt?
Look at all the specifics around the debt. So you want to list the credit cards that you have. You want to identify what your balances are currently. You want to identify what the APR interest rate that you're paying is.
Well, now for a breakdown of the top 3 things coming to the Lou that you need to know about, from an expansion at a popular music venue to plans for a brand new soccer complex. We are going to bring you the scoop on all that, plus the latest in a store that could be coming to Maryland Heights. So let's start with the renovations planned at the Hollywood Casino Amphitheater. Right now, the music venue is looking to add a brand new $3.5 million VIP area, and that is according to the Business Journal. The VIP area would feature private bars, seating, outdoor games, and a DJ booth in the back of an antique pickup truck, among other experiences. Now, so far, no timelines have been given in the filings for this with the city for the construction of that new space, but we will continue to follow it. And a brand new soccer complex could be coming to the Grove soon. Our partners at the Business Journal report that Sports Development, which owns the property off of Manchester Avenue, proposed transforming the site into a soccer-focused facility. So take a look at your screen here. This is what the concept looks like. That new complex would be called the Sporting Yard, according to project documents. It would be on a lot close to the intersection of Manchester and Shoto. And then right now there are plans to build a brand new gas station and a coffee shop in Maryland Heights. This is a retail center that would be built on farmland near Highway 141. And this is right near the Hollywood Casino Amphitheater. So the development still needs to be approved by the Maryland Heights City Council.
You're drinking in public, that's not allowed. This speaker, that's not allowed.
Rule after rule after rule.
Well, beach towns in Florida are cracking down on spring breakers. AAA is predicting record-breaking travel with 3 of the 4 top destinations in Florida. Florida towns are warning partygoers to expect expensive parking, curfews, DUI checkpoints, and a very heavy police presence.
If they think we're playing here, we're not. We really don't want you here. I mean, I'll be honest with you. Nobody wants you here.
Yeah, okay. Well, there's also warnings for international travelers headed to Mexico. The State Department is telling Americans to reconsider travel to areas like Cancun, Playa del Carmen, and Tulum. This warning is because of rising crime. And your vacation plans this spring break may actually cost you a little extra if you are flying with Southwest Airlines, because the airline announced on Tuesday that it's going to start charging passengers to check bags for the first time. That fee actually begins on May 28th, so you got a little time there, I should say. However, members of Southwest's A-list loyalty program, or those traveling on a business fare, will be exempt from the fees. This move comes after months of pressure from the Elliott investment management firm, which took a stake in the airline last year and is now pushing for quick reforms at the company. Boeing plans to add jobs pretty soon. The aerospace company tells our partners at the Business Journal that it plans to hire a couple hundred workers this year as production of the F-15 fighter jet ramps up. Other defense programs are also moving from development to production. Boeing is currently working on the details of the hiring process. Right now, the city of St. Louis is making 6 major changes along Chippewa outside of Ted Drew's. 5 on your side's Mercedes McKay brings us more on the improvements that many say are needed due to the history of traffic problems.
These are wonderful practices. Almost 3 years too late, and that's the problem.
This has been the scene along Chippewa Street in South St. Louis for nearly a month.
This is something that the Board of Public Service has really taken the lead on, and take some time to make sure we got it right.
Rasmus Jorgensen with the mayor's office says the changes coming will make a difference.
We've watched, not only are we talking about the deaths that have taken place, the serious injuries that have taken place, but we don't know what the near misses are.
So let's break down the upgrades. A bump out or a curb extension is being built where people wait for their custard. They will be more visible and drivers are forced to slow down by narrowing the road. For an extra layer of protection, the city is also adding a barrier with a fence on top to create a buffer between patrons and traffic.
Well, that concrete barrier is going to make a big difference. That's not going to be something that's going to be easy for a vehicle to get through.
Other improvements include extra lighting, a signalized crosswalk, a camera linked to the city's real-time crime center, and Ted Drew's is moving its east parking lot entrance closer to the gift shop.
So we want to make sure that people who stand there in line are protected from the traffic. We don't want that to be something that people are concerned about.
Charles Bryson is the policy catalyst for TrailNet, a nonprofit focused on safe streets. He says the calming measures are great solutions and follow the guidelines of the National Highway Safety Administration.
It is all about trying to calm the street down, to give each and every person an opportunity to have a safe crossing or a safe environment.
TrailNet sent a letter years ago to the city about quick fixes along Chippewa. Bryson believes if the city used ward capital to fix this problem, solutions would have come faster.
The issue is there should have been some money over the years that went directly to the streets department to take care of some of these serious hot spots throughout the city.
There will be a crosswalk.
Alderman Tom Oldenburg told us the city used both ward capital and ARPA funds for Ted Drew's improvements, adding how the project scope was too large to only use ward capital. While the improvements are a step in the right direction, Bryson says fixing the problem will take everyone.
We can't do this piecemeal. This takes an overall strategy and planning, and it takes the dollars and the resources necessary to make it happen.
That was Mercedes McKay reporting there. The city is currently waiting on the traffic signals for that crosswalk. But if everything else goes as planned, the mayor's office says all safety measures should be in place before summer begins. Well, how about this? New in the Lou, those out of Maplewood can now go check out a brand new restaurant. Robin Restaurant officially opened up on Thursday off of Manchester, according to our partners at the Business Journal. It's going to be located where Penn Baremba's The Benevolent King used to be. The restaurant's menu is going to focus on serving a small and elevated menu consisting of 4 courses for $75, according to a press release. And then check this out. Grant's Farm is now officially open for its 71st season. It's going to be open for 11 straight days through March 23rd and then on weekends through mid-May. Returning this year are the Animal All-Star Tours and the Easter Bunny Brunch. So much fun. And then yet another sign that warmer weather is coming. Six Flags announced its opening date. The first day of the season is April 5th. Hurricane Harbor opens in May, and then get this, every Sunday in April is Low Sensory Sundays in recognition of Autism Awareness Month. And did you see this? Right now, season ticket holders at the fabulous Fox Theater can now start choosing their seats for next season's Broadway series. The new season kicks off in October with Life of Pi. Also in the lineup, The Notebook, The Wiz, The Outsiders, Hell's Kitchen, The Phantom of the Opera, Harry Potter and the Cursed Child, and Monty Python's Spam-A-Lot. Single show tickets, though, will go on sale in May. And then St. Patrick's Day is almost upon us, so we want to bring you more on some new changes coming to the parade in downtown St. Louis. This year, it's going to be a little more enjoyable for visitors, so take a look at this here. Organizers have partnered with Mind's Eye to offer audio descriptions of the parade for the visually impaired through the Live Voice app. There will be viewing for veterans and people with disabilities in front of Soldiers Memorial. This year's parade is set for this Saturday at noon, and the special seating opens at 10:30. And then on Monday, the 41st annual Ancient Order of Hibernians Parade will march down the streets of Dogtown. That parade kicks off at 11 in the morning, and if you can't make it out to the party, don't worry. You can watch it live for free on the 5+ streaming app. You can even wear your green pajamas. You can download it on your TV and watch for free. Okay, that's going to do it for us. Thanks so much for watching Michelle on the Money. For more money stories like these, be sure to join me every day on Today in St. Louis starting at 5 a.m. We're going to see you again next weekend right here on the 5+ app.